Sitting here with Big Red, a frequent guest on the Backdoor Cut. He's not doing his weekly rant segment, though. We've decided to do a little something different with Big Red now. He's an avid basketball fan, admittedly his favorite sport. And so we're talking a little Augsburg basketball here today with Brett Cloutier. Brett, how are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing all right. Let's start now with how they performed last year. An absolutely phenomenal run into the playoffs. You know, they really had a strong season, and talk about coming off that season and really expectations being somewhat high this year.
Oh yeah, I definitely think coming in the season they got to be number 2 behind St. Thomas, who obviously finished 28-1 last year, was number 1 in the nation until they lost in the Elite Eight in the Division III tournament. But they have a big loss in Nate Alm. Nate Alm was a great player for him. He's a great inside presence for him. He really blossomed from his junior year coming here to his senior year at Augsburg last year. Actually, last year he ended up with he was 9.1 rebounds inside for him last year, which was a key. The year before they kind of struggled with rebounding, and he also averaged about 12 points a game. He's a really key player for them, and that's going to be a huge loss. And where they're going to get the inside scoring is going to come between Andy Grimm and Corey Polta. Those two really have to step it up in Nate's loss. But I really think you got John Cassins back, who's the 3-year starter. Arguably one of the best players in the conference. Absolutely. He's the key. He can run the point, he can play the 2, he can score, he can D up their best player. I think he's going to be a big key for him.
In the backcourt, he's definitely going to hold it down. All of them obviously gone in the front court. As far as people coming in that you've heard about, what have you heard about the transfers, and how have they looked so far in practice?
Well, I know the freshman class he's got some depth. I don't know necessarily if they're going to need any of them to necessarily step up right away because you return so much. You really only lose Ulm from last year. You initially lost Dave Olson, who actually is coming back now for his 5th year after the MIAC changed the new rule to he was initially a Division II player and got redshirted his freshman year.
Absolutely.
So transferred in previous years, you lost that year of eligibility, but now he's back. He got his 5th year, and he actually got ruled on. That rule changed in September, so that'll be a key addition, within the system. But Marcus Brum, the quarterback from the Augsburg football team, is here. He had a couple-year layoff after he was at Mankato State playing football, but he was a great basketball player in high school. Led that Lakeville South team to state, let's say 3rd or 4th place in state in 2007. But you also have the addition of Zach Eastman, who is coming from Bemidji State, where he was the second leading scorer at Bemidji last year until Bemidji and Zach parted ways. But he's a great point guard. I think he'll really help John Cassins and Dave Olson in the backcourt because now they finally, they've with Ben Flavin, they also have now with Zach and Ben, they have 2 point guards. You can really get both Cassins and Dave the ball in the wing where they can execute as they're better players off the wing than coming from the point.
It was a great offensive team. Defense struggled at times last year. Looking at the roster, there may not be necessarily a lockdown defender, but with that depth you're talking about, how do you feel? How important do you feel it's going to be to lock down teams? As you said, Cassins can guard the best player, but with Alm gone on the inside, will that hurt him defensively?
Corey Bolt is a big guy inside. He's about 6'5", about 250. He's just a brick if you've seen him walking around Augsburg. And Grimm's about 6'10". He's a lanky guy in the post, but you give up some weight, you gain with height. So I think inside they should be all right because now both of those guys are sophomores. Now they've it's not their first rodeo in the MIAC anymore. And you got on the wing, you got a lot of guys in the wing and in the backcourt. You got like I said, you got Eastman, you got Flavin, you got Olson, Cassins. You also have Matt Quammen, who will be coming in 2nd semester. You got Brett Sorensen, who can play all 5 positions seemingly. And you got a lot of depth for them coming in the backcourt this season.
So coming off, as we were talking about that finish, you say they should be second behind St. Thomas. Obviously the expectation can't be to win the conference. St. Thomas is obviously one of the best teams in the nation every year. They're a powerhouse. So if you look at getting an at-large bid in the NCAA Division III tournament, do you think that that's a possibility? And do you think that what do you think would make this season a success for Augsburg coming off such a great year last year?
Well, I think if you're asked head coach Aaron Grease, I think initially he would be disappointed. I think this year if they don't win the MIAC championship. They got veterans, they got depth. John Cassins, like I said, one of the best players in conference. Now this is his last year. This is his last chance to get a MIAC championship and bring it to Augsburg College. I think that large bid, you can't always bank on that because you never know what can happen. It's like the NCAA tournament for Division I. You have that one upset team of a team who's a for sure lock to the tournament, runs the table, and that takes an automatic or at-large bid away. So I think Augsburg's really got to hope to, split with St. Thomas this year. Yeah. Hopefully maybe St. Thomas can get upset by someone because, obviously that can happen. Yeah. St. Thomas is going to be strong again. They got Joe Scott back, probably the best player in the conference. Yep. And then they have Tyler Nikolai, who's probably is a great point guard for him. But, I really think that Augsburg matches up really well this year with their depth and the addition of some key players that can really, they'll really be able to stop St. Thomas. And I think winning the conference tournament or winning the conference regular season and the tournament is definitely got to be their goal going in.
Absolutely. Strong statement, but I like it. That's Brett Cloutier. We appreciate you stopping
Oh,
by.
thanks for
giving
being
me
on.
this
Yeah.
interview. Catch him on the Backdoor Cut, 9:30 next Monday. We will have him at 10:25 as a caller. Thanks, McGrib.